Hi everyone, my name is Bogdan and I'm a key account manager here at RCMX. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I wanted to talk to you about difficult life of ordinary buyers on yours and not only yours website. How these difficulties are solved with different services, which solution seems to be optimal to us and maybe to you, and why. And finally, how to try our solution on your website today. So you have your online store up and running, which is great. And you have less limits comparing to an average offline store. For example, you don't really need to pay rent or maintain a large warehouse, which gives you options to sell practically limitless amount of products on your website. With that, however, there is another challenge coming in. So only 3 to 5% of your online visitors would make a purchase. Why does it happen? Let's dive in. So there are different studies out there that you can research and see exactly why people leave websites without making a purchase. So I'm going to rely on one of the studies conducted by Harvard Business Review, where they describe 4 main reasons why customers or potential customers do not make purchase on your website right away. So one of the biggest problems during the sales cycle is that the difference between most products is extremely small. Basically what that means, your customer has abstract need or abstract understanding of what they really want, and you have a large selection of products, of similar products really, and your customers don't really know what they want. So let's reiterate that once again. Your customers have abstract need, and you have a really wide selection of products to choose from. That, surprisingly enough, would equal to a lost customer. So let's think about hypothetical customer here, and let's name him Bob. So what Bob wants to do, he wants to buy a vacuum cleaner from your website that is selling vacuum cleaners. Bob may get lost in different filters, and what he really wants to do, or what he really thinks about, is basically that he wants to spend less time cleaning. He lives in a small apartment with a dog and a carpet in the middle of the room. So Bob gets confused on the website because it has so many different choices out there. What Bob does instead, he goes to an offline store to talk to a real person who will be able to consult him. So there are several ways or several solutions that would help Bob to make a right decision on your website at the moment where he's choosing the right product for himself. Now, let's take a look at some of the solution types. At first, you could implement online chat. So think of your live chat or ManyChat or other services that you may have used or may have come across in the past. So naturally, live chat is good. It provides personal experience. There is a live person speaking to your customers and helping them with a choice that they're making on your website at the moment. Now, it has certain limits when it comes to scaling. Naturally, you'll have to hire more people that will be communicating with your customers. But again, this is a solution that a lot of people and store owners choose to go with. Another way to help Bob here would be to implement online service or quizzes on your website. So think of solutions like Jabit, Octane, and some others. The great thing about those is that it doesn't have any limits in terms of how many customers or how many potential buyers on your website can take it at the same time. But there are also some limits here in the sense that a lot of them require manual work and manual integration, manual setup, and so on. Now, finally, there is a way to use smart search on your website. So think of software like Retail Rocket or Empathy or something else. So basically, that's where people would go on your website and they would search for something specific. For example, if somebody wants to buy a red t-shirt from you, so they would simply go and type red t-shirt and get relevant results that they were able to find. The downside of this is basically very few people in reality use this solution when they're on your website. Now, finally, I wanted to share about RCMX. So RCMX is unique simply because it kind of unifies all of these 3 solution types that I've described above into one. So there is, no limits in terms of scaling, so it doesn't require any extra resources if you're, growing really rapidly. So that's good. It doesn't require any manual work or support or maintenance. Everything is pretty much, self-sufficient. Our product really learns by itself. to make sure that it drives more results, more conversions to purchases. So what is Recommendix? Recommendix is, again, it's an advanced recommendation technology wrapped into a package that is affordable even to small online store owners. So that's a place, or that's a solution where you pay only for results. Now, basically, the point when the potential buyer reaches the final selection using our solution, that's the result that we are aiming for. And this is basically the traffic that has the highest conversion here. So how it works? Basically, each product category corresponds to its own tree-like logic, where everything starts at the first survey questions and ends with a product selection. Between these stages, we do some magic. So, some interconnected questions, complex filtering, and branching algorithm, and much more. So in case if we were to think about Bob, in the end, he would be able to find the best product that suits his need. And here's our CPO talking about the technology and the way it works in reality.
Here's how it works. Add just a few lines of code and our algorithm is already connected to your store. Next, it meets each customer with a few simple but specific questions to analyze their needs. Afterwards, it recommends products from your inventory that fits the customer's request.
Pretty awesome, right? So every customer that goes through Recommendix on your website starts answering standard questions, and where we use sets of category-specific questions across different websites. Now, I've talked about the way Recommendix worked, but does it really affect your website performance? In a nutshell, no, it doesn't. Basically, our script loads after your website does. What that means is that Recommendix technology wouldn't slow down the load time of your pages or your website, and in no way will it affect your website's performance. So nothing will break or freeze. So what's in it for you and your online store here? So we have one solution with a huge profit for becoming private to your audience's profile, comparing yourself with an average comparing yourself with the average market benchmarks, giving completely new experience of interacting with your store to your customer and yourself, really, and naturally getting measurable results of service usage. So how to start using Recommendix? It's fairly simple. We basically have 3 steps here. So number 1 would be adding our code to your website. Then you would upload your assortment file and launch the project. So the whole process on average would take anywhere between just 1 hour and up to 2 days to start from the scratch. Recommendix has very flexible pricing, starting from just $0 per month. We are always able to customize an offer for you. And again, I mentioned that before, but just to reiterate, remember that basically you're paying for results only for those people who have selected what they want and they are looking at the most related products on your website. So please make sure to visit our website for an actual pricing. I wanted to thank you today for your attention and for staying with me. I do hope that we can get in touch very soon. Please feel free to reach out to our team, to myself personally, and we'll be more than happy to see how we can help you. Thank you very much and have a great day.